In the Bible, there's a place called Beer Lahai Roi, which is a well where a significant event took place. This story is found in Genesis 16. Abram and his wife Sarah were promised children by God, but many years passed with no children. Sarah then suggested that Abram have a child with her slave girl, Hagar. According to the customs of the time, the child would belong to Sarah. This plan worked, and Hagar became pregnant, leading to jealousy and conflict. Hagar, feeling mistreated, fled into the desert. At a spring called Beer Lahai Roi, an angel found her. The angel told Hagar to return and promised her descendants too numerous to count. Hagar, acknowledging the divine intervention, named the well Beer Lahai Roi, meaning, the well of him that lives and sees me, or the well of the vision of life. It symbolized that God saw her in her distress and brought hope. This location, Beer Lahai Roi, is later mentioned in connection with Isaac's dwelling in Genesis 24 verse 62 and 25:11. The site is in the Negev between Kadesh and Bed, Genesis 16 verse 14. The well with the modern Ein Moilehi, 50 miles south of Beersheba and 12 miles west of Ein Kades. Even over 400 years later, during Moses' time, people still knew the well by the same name. The use of this name emphasized to the Hebrews that Abram's family had a history in Canaan, and God was fulfilling his promise through Moses. The story of Beer Lahai Roi also serves as a reminder that God sees and understands our struggles. In times of sin and despair, God, known as El Roi, the God who sees, took action to save humanity through Jesus, born in a manger, crucified, and resurrected for our salvation. The connection between Zam Zam and the well found by Hagar at the time of her distress in the desert is rooted in Islamic beliefs and traditions, particularly those found in the Quran and Hadith. In Islamic tradition, it is believed that Hagar and her son Ishmael were left by Prophet Abraham in the desolate valley of Mecca, where there was no water or vegetation. In the Quran, Surah Ibrahim 14:37 mentions the plea of Ibrahim as he left Hagar and Ishmael in the barren valley. Our Lord, I have settled some of my descendants in an uncultivated valley near your sacred house, our Lord, that they may establish prayer. So make hearts among the people inclined toward them and provide for them from the fruits that they might be grateful. According to Islamic tradition, Hagar, desperate and thirsty, ran between two hills, Safa and Marwa, in search of water for her infant son. It is during this desperate search that the angel, Gabriel, is said to have struck the ground with his wing, causing the well of Zam Zam to spring forth. The Quran does not explicitly mention the name Zam Zam, but it narrates the story of Hagar and Ishmael's struggle for water, and Muslims believe that Zam Zam is the miraculous well that originated from this event. The significance of Zam Zam is deeply ingrained in Islamic culture, and millions of Muslims drink its water during the pilgrimage of Hajj as a symbolic act of connection to Hagar's story and a demonstration of trust in God's provision. The well is considered blessed, and its water is believed to have special qualities. In contrast, the Bible recounts a similar incident involving Hagar in Genesis 16, where she encounters an angel at a well called Beer Lahai Roi. While both stories involve Hagar and a well in a time of need, the identification of Zam Zam with Beer Lahai Roi is not explicitly made in the Quran or Hadith. The Islamic tradition emphasizes the specific events in Mecca, leading to the belief that Zam Zam is the well associated with Hagar and Ishmael's struggle for water in the desert. The same location is mentioned 2 other times as the place where Isaac was living. Genesis 24 verse 62 says, "Now Isaac had come from Beer Lahai Roi, for he was living in the Negev," and Genesis 25 verse 11 adds, "After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who then lived near Beer Lahai Roi." When Moses recorded the incident involving Hagar and the angel, it was more than 400 years later. Apparently, the well was still known to people in Moses' day, and it went by the same name. The use of the name Beer Lahai Roi would have illustrated to the Hebrews that Abram and his family had been active in the land of Canaan long before the Exodus, and that God, through Moses, was simply bringing the people back in fulfillment of his promise to Abram. He is the living God who saw the plight of the Egyptian slave Hagar, and he also saw the plight of the Israelites when they were enslaved in Egypt. Some claims have been made that the story has been similar and that it has been copied from the Bible. The similarities between the stories in Islamic tradition and the Bible could be due to shared roots in the Abrahamic traditions. It's important to note that Islam recognizes many of the biblical prophets, including Abraham, and the Quran often includes narratives that align with those found in the Bible. However, differences in details and emphasis exist, reflecting distinct theological perspectives. Islamic tradition does not frame itself as a continuation or alteration of Judaism or Christianity, but rather as a revelation given to Prophet Muhammad. While there are commonalities with biblical narratives, there are also unique elements in Islamic teachings. Regarding the specific story of Hagar and the well, it's possible that both traditions draw from a shared source that predates the written scriptures, or that they independently developed similar stories to convey certain spiritual and moral lessons. The differences in names and locations may stem from variations in oral traditions, cultural contexts, or theological emphasis within each faith. Claims of one tradition hijacking from another are complex and often subjective. Interactions between religious communities have historically influenced storytelling, and narratives have adapted to the beliefs and contexts of the communities that embrace them. It's essential to approach these matters with sensitivity to the faith and beliefs of others, recognizing that religious traditions can have distinct perspectives on shared stories. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you and keep watching.